Hello, friend. I couldn't wait to talk to everyone live tonight. I am so excited to be with you folks. And I want to talk and thank each and every one of you for taking a look at the video that has gone viral. Whenever you have a video that has gone viral, and I have never had this happen to me, you know it communicates that it hit a particular nerve. Over 100 million people have had the chance to watch this video over the last 7 or 8 days. And I was talking to my friend, life coach Kevin Breeding, and I was asking him what he thought made this video so significant. And he said, Rick, you told your story. And that's what I want to talk to you folks about tonight. I couldn't wait to go live to talk to you about the value of your story. For years, I didn't think my story had any value whatsoever. It was a story of struggle, a story of loss when my wife died, a story of tremendous grief, a story of sadness. And then the story shifted to saying, I've got to make a choice. Do I stay at this level? Do I remain here? Or do I figure out a way to get me and my boys to start climbing up, to literally start living again? And I believe, especially after talking to Kevin, I believe that that's what resonates with people. Many of us are going through difficult times. It might not be the loss of a spouse, but it might be. It might not be the loss of a child. It might be. It might be difficulties at work. I read so many of your responses. Here are a couple of things that resonated with more than just one person. They would say, Dear Rick, or Dear Dr. Rigsby, or Dear Brother Rick. I loved reading them. People would say, I'm just existing. I'm just going through the motions. I could really relate to that. I had a lot of people say, I just don't want to live anymore. I don't see the need to live. There were a number of people, a number of you who said, I can't find hope. I can't find any reason for which to hope. There were quite a few that are just really struggling with a lot of issues in the past. And we all know, I know that the past can really cripple the present and not cause you to hope a great deal in the future. And so I'm listening to you. I've been reading every single day as many of your responses as I can. And then listening to that life coach, Kevin Breeding, say, there's power when you tell your story. There's power when you not only share the difficult times, but also how you got up off the canvas, how you got out of the hole, how you literally started living again. As simple as I can tell you folks this. At some point, I had to start putting one foot in front of the other. I can remember, as vivid as it was yesterday, taking Trina's clothes to the mortuary. And I remember thinking, this is just not right. This is surreal. The same dress that I saw her in years earlier at a function, I am now taking to clothe her for her final appearance for us to say goodbye. I can remember vividly walking up to the casket with my boys thinking, this has to be somebody else's story. I can remember vividly 1 month after the funeral, the worst month of my life, because the shock wears off that she's no longer coming back. The cards have stopped coming. The flowers are dead. Most folks, wonderful people, have gone back to their business, and you and your boys are stuck. In our case, we're just stuck, and we literally don't know what to do. And so for years I've thought that was just our reality. That couldn't possibly help people. But after reading all the comments that I've read, I've realized that it resonates with people because people are hurting. And when folks are hurting, you feel isolated. And when you feel isolated, you think, oh my goodness, nobody else will ever understand. They'll never be able to relate. They will never be able to clearly gain a real picture why I'm going through what I'm going through. Friend, let me tell you something. If I haven't learned anything else in 61 years on this earth, I have learned the power of telling your story. And not just the good parts, because one of the things that really concerned me is that people will all of a sudden know your business. I remember when Trina died, I all of a sudden became a public figure in the community, and people know your business. But you know what's interesting? From time to time, I would hear people say a lot of the same things that you folks are saying right now. And that is, Rick, just you walking through it and trying to hold your head up helped me. Just trying to force a smile on your face really helped me. Just talking about it helped me. But it didn't really hit me that that would be valuable until I read the comments. Reading those comments helped me to see that everybody has a story worth telling. And instead of me trying to gloss over the nice parts and hide the difficult parts, make that story resonate in such a way that somebody can be helped. Here's what I want to challenge myself to do and you to do. Share your story. It might seem so simple. It might seem mundane. It might seem like it has no value at all. It might seem like you're just spiraling out of control. But somebody is going to resonate with that story and say, you know what, I can relate to that. I'm going through the very same thing. My story begins to go upward when I realize that I have to make some changes because I have two boys that have just lost their mother. I have to figure out how to put one foot in front of the other and keep living. And that's when I really started hearing my dad's words just resounding with a piercing familiarity inside of me. Son, just stand. Just stand. Just stand. Don't quit. Just don't give up. And you know what, friend? If I can share anything with you tonight during this live cast, the value of my story is I listened to that third grade dropout. I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I wanted to. I felt horrible. I didn't want to live. But I kept breathing. I put one foot in front of the other. And I kept standing. And you know what? I'm watching your reaction. And I can tell you with clear certainty tonight, there are people that will benefit from your story. There are people, I bet you can think of one person right now that's going through a difficult time. They might be helped by one thing that you are going through, or one thing that you have experienced and you've overcome. You know, a lot of times I think we're very outcome-oriented people, we folks on this earth. So we want to skip to the outcome. I am learning that the hope is found in the struggle. Doesn't feel like it, but that's where the hope is discovered. I want to be talking to you about that in future live casts. I want you to follow me on Facebook. And I look forward to sharing my journey with you because I now am convinced of the value of telling your story. I encourage you, share your story. Continue sharing your story with me. I have been so blessed listening to so many of you folks. I want to talk to the gentleman right now that's in that hospital room with your wife dying of cancer, with those two little babies. Keep living. Don't stop living. Let your wife in that bed see some hope in your eyes. Let those girls see some hope in your eyes, regardless of how you feel. Put one foot in front of the other. That truck driver that I emailed in Alabama, my white neck redneck friend, I want to encourage you. Your life is worth something. It is valuable. And if there is anything you have learned from my story that will encourage you to keep living, sir, it was worth the pain. Oh, I want to tell you, friend, I am growing more and more convinced every time I read your responses that we can help one another in the simplest of ways by sharing an experience that might uplift, that might encourage, that might offer just a glimmer of hope to someone who sees no hope, no reason for which to hope. To that extent, I am honored to share my story and will commit to you to continue telling my story all the days of my life, not for my glory, but in the hope that someone will be helped. I can't wait to visit with you again. I've really enjoyed this. This is my first Facebook Live. I had to get my kids and grandkids to help me, but I think I got it. I can't wait to visit with you. Follow me on Facebook, Dr. Rick Rigsby. I'll talk to you soon.